திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் வரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய். தேடும் கயமா முகனை சிறுவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரன். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். சக்கரவர்த்தி தவராச யோகி எனும் மிக்க திருமூலனருள் மேவனாள் என்னாலும். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக வழங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெரும் கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் மிக பெருமையுடன் திருமூலர் திருமந்திரத்தினுடைய முதற் பாடல் விளக்கத்தை நண்பர்களுக்கெல்லாம் ஆங்கிலத்திலே சொல்லுவதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. The classes actually started last week, and we have taken for our explanation the first song called the preface of the book, written by our great Thirumoolar. It implied a lot of principles of Saiva Siddhanta, and the first song, if we analyze and if we are able to understand word by word, the total song will yield a lot of information about the Saiva Siddhanta. As a matter of fact, we are very much interested in understanding the principles of Saiva Siddhanta. The first step for our achievement is first step for our achievements is first to learn the things properly. Learn it, practice it, follow it. There should be the steps that should be adopted for successful achievement of any project. Now our aim is to reach the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, to overcome all our sufferings. Not only in this birth, we have taken lot of births. That is the very important belief of Saiva Siddhanta, that the soul has been taking lot of births, innumerable births, countless. So what should be our motto to come out of this suffering? Why this birth has been awarded by the Lord Shiva to us? Why at all we should have come to this earth? For a prescribed time alone we are here. We have been committing lot of deeds here. But what is the motto behind our coming here? Why we are brought here? What Lord Shiva expects from us? It should be made clear, then only we can move about. That is why Upper Swami says that we must know our target, then only our movements will be meaningful and fruitful. That is called the Kurikol. Kurikol iladi kettene endru Appar Swami solluகிறார். He says that the whole life has become meaningless because of my ignorance of the target. Is it the life meaningful if we earn some money, or if we earn a house, or if we earn name and fame? Okay, all these things are earned. But when we reach the world, those things have been prescribed as aims. That's what we think. But once we reach our age, or when we start feeling that we are going to leave this world sooner or later, we must have understood that we have not at all done anything for our target, for our aim. So we must clearly understand our aim, that we have to come out of the sufferings we are undergoing due to births. Once we are leaving this body, Saiva Siddhantam implies that we have to take another body, another life in this world. We have to come back. Of course, not immediately, but we have to wait for some time. And once the right time comes, we will be awarded another birth and we will be coming to this world again. So coming, going, Pokku Varavu, that's what Thiruvasangam also says. Pokku Varavu Punarvu Mila Punniyane. That's what we have been doing all these ages. When is this going to stop? As a matter of fact, unless otherwise the birth stops, we cannot think of the eternal bliss. So that is why our Saiva Siddhantam mentors, they are all emphasizing that we must understand why we have come to this world, what we are going to achieve. All these things should be clear. We are here, that is, being this human birth has been awarded to us, and we are seeing around us, there are a lot of different births we have been witnessing. There is a dog, there is a pig, there is a horse, everything, animal, birds. All these things we are just seeing that among them we have taken a human body. How we have achieved the human body? It has been awarded by Lord Shiva. So there should be some expectation from Lord Shiva to have been that we have been awarded this human life. Then God is expecting something out of us, that we should be concerned about this target. We should be concerned about this God's gift, and we must be taking the right direction to move towards the target. Okay, there are some principles in Saiva Siddhantam. Those principles dictate how we have taken the birth, what we should do in this birth, what happens when we leave this world. All these things are being explained in Saiva Siddhantam. The whole book Thirumanthiram is built upon the fundamentals of Saiva Siddhantam. So unless otherwise you understand the Saiva Siddhantam, you cannot appreciate the Thirumanthiram. If you want to appreciate it, you must be able to appreciate the basic principles of Saiva Siddhantam. Of course, Thirumoolar also explains in some places the Saiva Siddhantam principles. For example, in Payiram he says, Padi Pasu Pasam Yana Pahan Mundil. He says clearly that there are only three entities God, souls, and the blockage in between them. Those are the three things that we must understand. And these three things, if you take anything in this world, it should be only in these animated or inanimated things. So the whole world has been classified as inanimated and animated, and the God. God has an eternal power of knowledge, and He helps the souls to come out of the misery and suffering. The blockage can be otherwise known as ignorance. Souls are inherently blessed with wisdom. Of course, that wisdom has been tarnished or has been covered by the ignorance. That ignorance is being called as Anavam in Saiva Siddhanta. Some other people, some religions won't accept this Anavam. They say that Maya, that is this world, this Prapancham, the body, everything we see in this world, that is Maya, and that has to be conquered for reaching the Mukti. But Saiva Siddhantam says that conquering Maya is not our target. Conquering Anavam, the ignorance in our wisdom, is the target. For achieving the target, Maya has been an helping element or helping tools awarded by Lord Shiva. So we have to understand the difference between Anavam and Maya. Of course, both of them are to be eliminated at the end. At the end, see, if you are willing to climb up, stairs are required. But once you reach the height, the ladder may not be required at all. You understand? Likewise, the Maya is a ladder to make you climb up from the misery to the bliss. That is how Saiva Siddhantam explains about Maya. The difference we must understand. Why we are insisting that principle? Because once we lose our human body, or it is called the Tattvam. Tattvam are nothing but tools. Once we lose or temporarily, when we are away from the tools, we are in darkness. So that is why we feel that conquering Maya is not the motive. Conquering Anavam with the help of Maya is the motive, is the thing that has been stipulated by Lord Shiva. Okay, our aim is to explain the first song of the preface of Thirumanthiram. In the last class, we explained the first line of that song. We discussed a lot of other principles about Saiva Siddhantam. And the first line says, ONDRAVAN THANE, IRANDAVAN INNARUL. That's what the first line says. What does it mean? ONDRAVAN THANE, Ondru, number. Ondru means one. That is the meaning of Ondru. Avan, the Almighty. Almighty is one. That is, there is only one Almighty. It is also known as in Tamil Padi. Padi Ondruda. So ONDRAVAN THANE. There are no too many gods as we climb in different religions. Religions are claiming that their God is the supreme God of all gods. But anyway, we must understand that Almighty can be only one. Pati can be only one. There are no equals for Him. There are no supremes for Him. Of course, all are inferior to Him. all have to surrender at the feet of Lord Shiva, the one and only God, the one and only Almighty. That is ONDRAVAN THANE. Irandavan innarul. The God is understood only by His mercy. The flower is understood by its odor. The fire is understood by its heat. The sun is understood by its rays. Likewise, the Almighty is understood by its inequal, unparalleled grace. Of course, he is saying that innarul irandu, that grace is of two types, he says. We should not think that there are two graces he is having. Instead, we must think that the grace operates or is available to the souls in two forms. That's all. The two forms of grace, that is Thiruvurul and Thirubhavam. We explained in detail in the last class how the Thirubhavam works and how Thiruvurul also works. The same grace, தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா கருணை, grace. The two qualities of Lord Shiva always felt and uttered by our mentors are the grace and the bliss. Arulmayamanavan, Anandamayamanavan. So those two things about the Lord Shiva, these souls are familiar in Devaram, Tiruvachakam, in all Tirumurais. Those have been gifted by Thiriyana Sambandhar, Thirunavukarasar. For us to pray to Lord Shiva with their words, it should be the right method of worshipping also. Instead of worshipping Him with our own words, we must worship the Lord and offer our prayers through their songs. They have been awarded only for that purpose. No prayer is complete without a Devaram uttering. No prayer is complete without a Thiruvasakam being uttered by you. So the Lord Shiva says to Sundarar in Periyapuranam, Devachekadar says, Yamakku archanai paate agum. That's what he says. So the archana means you must sing a song, the praising song uttered by the mentors. So the utmost the grace of Lord Shiva is known as Thiruvurul Shakti and Thirubhavam, and we must accept one fact that so far we have felt His grace only as Thirubhavam, and we are yet to experience His Thiruvurul. That is what we are trying to achieve. That's what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to achieve His grace. We are experiencing His Thirubhava Shakti. Only after that He has given our body, this Prapancham, the 5 basic elements, all those things, they have come out of the Maya only because of Him. Don't think those things have come out of Him. The world has not come out of the Almighty. The world has come out of the Maya. It is an innate energy. It is under the control of Lord Shiva. The world has come out only out of the Maya, not from Lord Shiva. But, for example, the tree comes out of a seed, not from the farmer. The farmer favors the tree coming out of the seed. Likewise, the Lord Shiva favors the Prapancham to be coming out of the seed of Maya. We must understand those things. Saiva Siddhantam explains all those things as we go on. When and where requires, I will explain the principles. I'm trying to, don't think that some things are not clear at the starting point. It may not be clear. It will not be clear also. Only as time grows, only when we pass on to classes, in further classes, we will be able to appreciate the facts. In the first session itself or in the second session itself, you may not be well versed with all Saiva Siddhantam principles. You have to learn. You have to go on learning. You have to go on understanding. See, some things will be clear at the time of when we learn it. But as time grows, you may not be able to remember, or you may not be able to understand as time goes. Again you have to study, again you have to learn, again you have to go through it. Likewise, the continuous touch, the continuous study only makes you familiar with the basic facts. So when you hear the first time, if it is clear, okay, well and good. But don't get convinced with the first hearing itself. Go for the second session. Go for the third. Of the third time of the same session. That is also necessary. Okay, let us go ahead with the second line. The first line is ONDRAVAN THANE, IRANDAVAN INNARUL. I think I have discussed enough with the first line. We will go to the second line. நின்றனன் மூன்றினுள் நான்கு உணர்ந்தான் ஐந்து வென்றனன். As I already told you, the song is adorned with an ornament of numbers, the serial of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are different decorations being made by these poets. They will adorn the songs composed by them with a different, in Tamil it is called Ani, that is a decoration. Likewise, number decoration has been done by our Thirumoolar in the first song. The numbers are appearing in serial 1, 2, 3, so that it will be more attractive and also it will be easy for you to remember the song. Those are the techniques the poets will be adopting for you to make familiar with the song and also easy to remember the song. In those times, people used to memorize the songs so that they will be able to reproduce it at the time they want, and also they will be brooding over the song in different aspects. Okay, now about the second line, Nindanan Mundinul. Nindanan Mundinul, what does it mean? See, it may be very difficult to understand. You must closely follow me to understand this triple. Mundinul Nindanan means once the Lord Shiva, he is in Paravali, the space out of spaces. Veli, Paravali, space out of spaces. The space is encompassing, the space is holding so many things within itself. It is called the Suchamam. There's so many things we see, we feel, like earth or moon or Venus or something like that, Mars, all those things. Where are they actually? They are in the space. That space is one of the 5 elements. Of course, what we are talking about is this space is one which holds all the spaces. So that is called Paravali, and that is where Parabaran and Parabarai அல்லது பரமசிவன் பரமசிவன் பராசக்தி, you may call them like that. Paramaசிவன், Paravarai is called Parasakti. See, they are inseparable. I have already told. They are existing there, one in the other. They are not separated. The Paravali, in which Paravaran and Paravarai, both of them are holding the space out of the spaces. Now, the Almighty, the Paravaran, He wants to help all the souls. He wants to help all the souls. He sympathizes. He takes pity over the souls which are suffering in the Anavam. Those souls are having wisdom, but since their wisdom has been completely darkened by the Anavam, they don't have Ichai, Jnanam, Kriyai, and they were all suffering in the Anavam. They were all suffering, eternal suffering. How can you compare that suffering? The suffering has been compared by our mentors already. You just also think about the suffering, just a comparison, not in full, at least to a portion. See, it is like being in the darkness of mother's womb. Total darkness. That's what our Tiruvasagam Manivasakar also says. Iriru Tingalil Perirul Padaithum. That's what he says. The 4th month, the soul is being covered by a darkness which cannot be explained. Inexplicable darkness. So that darkness can be compared to Anavam. It is completely masking. It is completely masking the wisdom of the soul, and soul is suffering like anything in the darkness. And Almighty sees, and it wants to lift up the souls from the darkness. It wants to help. It wants to somehow or other remove the sufferings from the souls. How He helps? That is the method. Some people say if the God thinks just by mantra, can He not do, because He is empowered to do anything He wants? No, the aspect is not like that. God wants the soul to try for that, to try to get out of the suffering. He will offer all the help. He will give all the help for the soul to get out of the difficulties. Then only it will understand the greatness of Lord Shiva and help. Suppose if you want to help somebody, if you just throw away the money, and he will not understand the value of help. You must make the person who is getting the help, you must make the person to understand the difficulty in getting the help, the value of the help. Then only he will use the help in the right aspect. Likewise, God also extends help, but at the same time, God expects the soul to come out of the suffering, of course, exerting some efforts by the soul themselves. So, first of all, He extends some help. What are the helps He is extending to the soul in the darkness? He offers some tools. He offers some help to the souls. With the availability of the tools, the soul should try to get out of the suffering slowly. Suppose if he wants to help, he must come down to the level of the soul. He cannot expect the soul to come to his level and get the help. Say if you want to help a beggar, we are in the third floor terrace, let us say. If you want to help a beggar begging for alms in the streets, what will you do? Will you ask the beggar to come to the terrace through the house, or will you come down? So likewise, God also is coming down from his level to the core, to the bottommost level. He takes 7 steps to reach the soul. Even then, the soul is not able to appreciate or understand the help extended by Lord Shiva. Even when he reaches, he reaches to the bottommost level. Even at that level, the soul getting all the help is not able to appreciate the God's help. Then you just think of, if the God is at the first level or second level, do you think the soul will be able to reach him? No. So that is why those 9 levels, he is coming down 9 levels. They have been grouped under 3 heads. They are known as 3 groups. So God is coming down. There is no doubt about it. God in his state is called Swarupam. When he comes down, he is called Tadatham. In his Swarupam, no soul will be able to understand him, can avail any help out of him. It may not even think of him. Only when he comes down from the topmost level. In what levels he is coming down? Nindranan Moondrinul. In 3 levels he is coming down. Each level is subdivided into 4 sub-levels. And these 3 groups he assumes to reach and help the soul. Now we can just see the chart here. The chart explains. The first one we are seeing Swarupa Sivam. Swarupa Sivam. That is the Paravali that we have explained earlier. Swarupa Sivam. Wherein we say that Parasivam and Parabare, Paramasivan, Parabare or Parasakti, they are within the Swarupam Sivam. They cannot be seen separately. They cannot be understood separately. They are not separable, one within the other. Then comes that second stage, Thiruvarul and Thirubhavam. Irandavan Thane, Innerul. ONDRAVAN Thane, Irandavan Innerul. Thiruvarul, Thirubhavam. Then the third stage, Nindanan Mundrinul, that is Layam, Bhogam, Adhikaram. So this Layam, Bhogam, Adhikaram, these 3 groups explains 9 levels. As a matter of fact, 9 levels it explains. Those 9 levels can be seen in a separate chart. I will request Mr. Ram Mohan to display the second chart which explains this Layam Bhogam Adhikaram. It is called Navandar Vedam. This chart is called Navandar Vedam. Here we can see that the Paravali, Parabaran, Parabare, out of which the Parabaran assumes a lower level. He is coming down to a lower level and assumes as Adi Sivan. Adi Sivan, in some books they say that it is 1,000th of the total power of Parabaran. 1,000th of Parabaran. And 1,000th of Parabare appears as Adi Shakti. Now you please understand that Adi Sivan, Adi Sakti, they are coming out of Paravali are one and the same thing. One and the same thing. Don't think they are different things. Paravali is Swarubam, Adi Sivan, Adi Sakti is Tadattam. How can we understand? Paravali is Swarubam. It is a natural state of existence. Adi Sivam, Adi Sakti, it is the artificial state of existence. Artificially is assuming these states, Adi Sivan, Adi Sakti. He is assuming these artificial states just only to help the souls to get out of the misery. That is why he is coming down. No other expectations what the souls can give him. You understand? Now Adi Sivan, Adi Sakti, now he wants to come down various levels so that the level souls can understand and reach and get the benefit out of them. So the Adi Sakti, Adi Sivam, he is having Jnana Sakti, Kriya Sakti and Ichcha Sakti. Those three Saktis are the basics for any actions or operations. Even for us, even the soul, if it should operate, it should be active, means its Jnana Sakti should be active, its Kriya Sakti should be active, its Ichcha Sakti should be active. So Ichcha Sakti to be willing. God is willing to lift up all the souls from the suffering. That is Ichcha Sakti. So his Jnana Sakti, he triggers the Adi Sakti with his Jnana Sakti. He triggers Adi Sakti with Jnana Sakti, and there comes the new level called Nadam. Nadam. Nadam is the basic for the sound world. As a matter of fact, the theory behind of all these levels is to produce two worlds. One is world of sound, another is world of light. So the world of sound is to be first produced. The basic for the world of sound is Nadam. Then from Nadam, the Bindu comes. There is another chart, if correct. Is there another chart? Another chart down there, Vedam. It has been corrected. See, out of Nadam, Bindu comes. Only out of Bindu, Aparanatham comes. Out of Aparanatham, Apara Bindu comes. The serial arrangement or the sequence, it should be like this. First sound, Nadam, then light, Bindu. Then please understand that they are being downsized again downsized. For example, if you want to understand sound only, it can be understood by its frequency and wavelength. And light also can be understood by its frequency and wavelength. So if we understand the in terms of frequency, the very high frequency, if is inaudible to our ears, it should be brought down to a level which is audible. That is why Nadam in the first level and Vasai in the last level are in this earth. 5 basic elements: land, water, fire and air, and then space. So here we say that sound coming out of the space. That sound is called Vasai. சுவை, ஒளி, ஊறு, ஓசை, நாற்றம். These five basic senses, five basic things, that Osai is different from Nadam. Of course, Osai has been derived only out of Nadam, downsized to the core, because our ears are able to hear, are able to respond to the frequency range from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. The whole space is filled with so many frequencies of sounds and lights. You are surrounded by so many frequencies. You are surrounded by so many sounds and lights. Are you able to hear or see them? No. You are not able. You are not being disturbed at all. All those sounds and we can suppose if you have a tuner here, if you tune down, you will be able to hear. So the whole space is filled with so many frequencies, but they are out of the range of your audibility. That's why you are not able to hear them. You are not being disturbed. Likewise, originally when the sound was produced, it was produced as a nadam, and subsequently it is downsized as aparanadam. The light also downsized to aparabindu, param mele, aparam kile, up and down. Param means up, aparam means down. So up and down. So they are being downsized. These four stages, you can show the chart. Please show the chart. In the chart, no, it is not this chart. The other one, Navandara. Navandara Vedam, from Adi Shakti, Nadam, I will correct in the next chart. The original is Nadam, and then Bindu, and then comes Aparanatham, and then comes Aparabindu. These are the four stages in the first group. These four are understood as Layam, that is Aruvam, that is formless. Then comes the next stage, Sadasivam. It is called Bhogam, that is formless form. This Sadasivam, how it is created? As a matter of fact, it comes out of Apara Bindu. How it comes out of it? Adisivam triggers Apara Bindu with the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti equally. Then Sadasivam comes. The chart may not be little clear. I will make the chart more clear, because triggers with the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti equally should clearly point out 5 Sadasiva. And these triggers with the Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti, that should be Kriya Shakti, should be pointed towards a Bindu, and it should appear as the second stage. Anyway, Layam, Boham, Adhiharam are the 3 groups of levels. The Adi Sivan triggers Adi Shakti to take the forms. Now please understand Nadam, Avaranadam, Bindu, Avarabindu, Sadasivam, Maheshwaran, Uruthiran, Thirumal, Piraman, all these 9 levels are controlled by Adi Shakti. They are different forms of Adi Shakti. Adi Shakti has come down all these levels. This Adi Shakti is known as Thirubhavam. This Thirubhavan has taken these 9 levels to award the souls so many tools. Usually, Maheswaran, Uruthiran, Thirumal, Pirama, they assume the form. Those things can be understood by our senses. For example, how Uruthiran will look like, how Thirumal will look like, what is the significance of Brahma, what is the significance of Maheshwaran, what are the forms they assume. Those things are being discussed in Adhikaram. But never forget that all these 9 stages are under the control of Adi Shakti, who is in control of Adi Sivan. Adi Sivan, Adi Shakti, you must think of the sun and its rays, or the fire and its heat. Likewise, you must understand them. You should not understand Adi Shakti as a separate entity from Adi Sivan. If you think of Adi Shakti, you should never forget Adi Sivan is also along with Adi Shakti. If you say about Adi Sivan, Adi Shakti is along with him. So those significances you should not forget. Okay, Nindranan Mundrinul. Please show the chart. Nindranan Mundrinul. What does it mean? Nindranan Mundrinul. He creates Layam, Boham, Adhikaram. These 3 groups, 3 levels. Mundrinul 3 levels. Layam, Boham, Adhikaram. Layam, formless. And then he wants to take a form. Then only the souls can understand. So he wants to assume form. When he goes from formless to form, he passes through a stage called a formless form. That is Aru Uruvam. That is called Sadasivam. So the Sadasivam is the master of all Adhikaram. He is called as Bhoga. Why God assumes all these 9 stages? Because the wisdom of souls should be cleared stage by stage, and Brahma creation, Thirumal taking care, Uruthiran wiping out the body at the end of their lifetime, Maheshwaran, his form of function is to make the soul to be attractive towards the godly affairs. Likewise, there are different aspects and duties of these Murtams. They are called Murtams because they have the form. Maheshwaran in Agamams, they say in 28 Agamams, Maheshwaran takes different forms like Dakshinamurti, Nadarajar, and then Somaskandar. All those forms are prescribed and they are specified. We cannot create a new form for Lord Shiva as we like. That is against the rule of Saiva Siddhantam, and also you should not assume new form for our God. See, Somaskandar means we must have Lord Shiva, Goddess Shakti, and then Lord Muruga. That is called the Somaskandar. You cannot create a theory that Lord Shiva has another daughter and daughter is also in the form. No, you cannot create. That is why Arunagirinathar says, Kavalutra Sittar, Satsamaya Pramattar, Nal Kadavul Pradishtai Parpalavaha. Agama Vadibangal, the forms that are allowed and prescribed by Agam, those things can be worshipped, not other forms of Shivam. You cannot create lots of forms of Shivam and just to make the people confused. You should not do like that. If you want to worship a form of Shiva, because in formless state it is very difficult for the souls to worship or offer prayer. They want a form. That is the form is called Murtam. In Murti stage, if you want to worship, you must be very certain whether this Murti has been allowed by our Saiva Siddhanta Agamas, Shiva Agamas, whether this Murti. Kavadutra Sittar Satsamaya Pramattar Nal Kadavul Pradishtai Parpalavaga Karidi Payar Kuritu Uru Vargam Gitti Ida Karivir Puha Pagattu Udalvan. Arunagirinathar is very furious about it. Worshipping different forms of lords. No, it's not allowed. Only allowed forms, that is Murtams, we can make worship, we can pray, we can offer our prayers. You understand? So likewise, Nindanan Mundrinul means he takes the levels to reach the soul in 9 levels. In suppose if we want to emphasize some points, where are they actually located? Suppose for Nadam, for Bindu, somebody should be in charge. Aparanadam, Aparabindu, somebody should be in charge. These are the levels created under the control of Adi Shakti, and somebody should be there to take care of those levels. Only the souls with a lot of goodness, and those souls that those have come up enough, those are nominated by Adi Shakti. They are not elected, they are nominated. They are deserved to be posted there. That's what Adi Sivan and Adi Shakti decides and posts them in Nadam, in Aparana, in Bindu, in Aparanatham, Aparabindu, and also in Sadasivam. Understand that all these levels are occupied only by the souls. Only by the souls. Almighty doesn't operate directly. He just drives Sadasivam. In turn, Sadasivam drives Mahaswaran. In turn, Maheswaran drives Urudhiran. Urudhiran drives Thirumal and Brahma. Thirumal and Brahma are the control of Urudhiran. So they are located also in different worlds. So different worlds are all to be created for them to exist and execute their duties. Brahma, Thirumal, Urudhiran, where are they actually? They are in this Prapancham called Prakriti Mayai. Maheswaran in Suddhamayai, Sadasivam in Suddhamayai, and Nadam, Bindu, Aparanatham, Aparabindu. Sometimes Aparanadam, Aparabindu are called Shivam and Shakti also. Don't get confused. In some notations, in some books, they would have listed this as Shivam, Shakti, Aparasivam, Aparashakti. Nadam, Shakti, Aparanadam, Aparashakti. Or Nadam, Bindu, Shivam, Shakti. So different types of notation, different types of these notations or presentations will be there. Don't get confused. But Layam has 4 stages in which Nadam and Bindu dominate. They are dominating in this Layam. So Sadasivam is called Bhogam. This is formless form. And these are all the 3 groups of levels, 3 groups of levels God has created so that He can come down to the whatever He can. Even Brahma has some power, means those powers have been awarded only by Adi Shakti. Thirumal has some powers, Adi Shakti has awarded. She has awarded all the powers to the 9 levels. People are there to govern, to dictate, to uplift the souls in the lower levels. You understand? So this has been mentioned in a short form by Thirumoolar as Nindanan Mundrinul. Nindanan Mundrinul. And he further says Nangu Unardhan. Nangu Unardhan. What is that number 4 indicate? Nangu Unardhan. Nangu means in Tamil, in Tamilian, 4 things are the targets for that is the 4 targets are the things to be achieved by a human being in the world. The first one is called Aram, the second one is Porul, the third one is Inbam, the fourth one is Veedu. They are called Purushartham. These 4 stages, these 4 achievements are to be main targets for any soul. This is the main motto of Tamil legacy. In ancient times, if the books are formed, the books are written by our mentors or by our people, then only in these four groups the book should be classified. For example, if a poet is writing a book, this book concerned whether aram, concerned with the porul, or concerned with the inbam, or concerned with the veedu, where it should be grouped, where it should be classified, under which section it comes. Likewise, they will be writing book. See, any writer, any author, if he wants to write a book, he must first of all understand in which group the book belongs. His book is going to belong. Whether it's going to belong to the aram, or to the porul, or to the inbam, or to the veedu. So these are the four. In the Tamilians, they basically say these are the four targets to be achieved by any human being in his lifetime. What do you mean by aram? The basic discipline. The basic discipline of a man in the society. What are all the characters to be cultivated? Being helpful to the others, talking good words, being kind to others, and following good habits, helping others. Likewise, they are all very general. In general, they are called aram. Suppose somebody is doing something, means he will see to it that whether it is an aram, whether it belongs to it, whether it follows the rules prescribed in aram, whether it adheres to the rules of aram, then only he will do it. Otherwise, if it is against it, he will never do it. That is the basic discipline of any human being. You understand? There are a lot of books written by our Tamil poets which belong to this category of aram. Then there is next target that is known as the Purushartham. Next to Purushartham, Porul. Porul means how to behave in the society, and also it pertains, the major portion pertains to the rulers, how to rule a country, how to safeguard the people from enemies, how to give a good rule. What are all the things the king should possess as his qualities? Likewise, it deals so many things. If a war comes, how the king should behave? What are all the things he must take care of? Likewise, this is called the porul. If you just go through Thirukkural, you will be able to understand the politics comes under this porul. Porul means suppose if you want to lead a life, you must earn things, isn't it? Unless otherwise you earn things, you must be useful to the society. How are you going to be useful to the society? In what way you are going to earn your money? Whether that job pertains to the first group, aram, likewise. So the way in which you earn the money and spend, that is also called porul. Or when it pertains to a king, how he rules the country. Likewise comes the porul. The third one is inbam. The actual life, how to lead the life with a partner. So the life means a human being should be dependent on another human being, and likewise a couple leads a life called illaram. That is the life should be following certain rules and aspects in that life also. So it is a matter of fact, it is a private, highly private, but even when it is private, it should be sacred. That's what, even when you enjoy, you must have the convincing consciousness that what I am enjoying is not against rule. It's not against rule. So inbam means what is the enjoyment that you can reap under the rules and regulations in this world. In this world. Whether the enjoyment comes in a permitted way. That is called, it almost pertains to the family life. What are the duties of a family life? How will they bring their children? As a matter of fact, if you just see about the children, in Kamathupal, he has not at all specified about children. He has talked about children elsewhere, Thiruvallur. So, the duties of a man in his life, what should he execute? Taking care of the guests, Virundombar, taking care of the guests, taking care of the kith and kin, relatives. When they are under some suffering or when they are under some sort of sorrow, you must extend your help. You must help them to come out of the issues. Likewise, they are having some duty. Sutram Tadal, our ancestors used to say, you must have a lot of relationship. You must cater to their needs. In turn, you must also avail help from them. Likewise, it is called the inbam. Then what is the fourth one? That is Veedu. After your life, where will you settle down? It is a subtle point. See, it is not known. It is Suchamam. We may not know clearly about that thing, but our ancestors and mentors have specified about that. So they have also written some books about that. You must read those books. You must try to abide by the rules stipulated there. Aram is different from Arul. Arul is the grace of Lord who has helped you to come to this world, to live in this world, and also when you leave this world, He will extend His help. You must understand that. Only His grace has brought us here. Only His grace is helping us here. And only His grace is going to help us when we leave this world also. So that is about the eternal place where we will not come back to Him. If we go to that place, that Veedu, that is the final destination. That destination at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, if you just reach it, you need not come back. Suppose if you don't reach there, you have to come back again and get better trained. And you must make yourself fit enough to reach the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So that is called the Veedu, the fourth destination, final destination of all the souls to come out of the misery. These days, it has been suffering out of this Anavam. Now it has totally come out of that and surrendering to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, coming out of all miseries. That is the fourth place. So, in all four places, Lord Shiva dominates and extends His grace. So, Nindanan, Mundinul, Nangu Unarndan, it means He is the sole reason for us to understand these four Purusharthams, or the four basic targets, Aram, Porul, Inbam, Veedu. I think with that, we can conclude our today's session. And we can continue in our next session, that is the coming Saturday. I am trying to explain these things with the basic concept, because I am just assuming that some newcomers should not find it difficult to follow us. That is why I am going into the basics very deeply, and I am trying to explain them as much as possible. Those things are very complicated. Of course, that's why at the start of the time I have told you that it may not be very easy to follow you immediately in the first session or the second session. Only after long journey, after 5 or 6 sessions, I think you will be able to appreciate what we are discussing about. You understand, we are discussing about the mercy of Lord Shiva, how He is helping us. There is somebody, there is one eternal power, there is somebody to help us. We need not we worried about all times our sufferings. We can avail His grace, we can avail His help. Only thing is we must search for it and seek it. We must beg for it. We must pray for it. So that's what we are doing. So if we understand and beg, I think it will be meaningful. That is why we are trying to understand the concepts. Thank you that for your valuable time you have devoted for this session. Once again, I have to thank Mrs. Saravanan couple. They are insisting that their names should not be mentioned. But somehow or other, I feel that I will be failing in my duty if I don't mention those names. Only for my satisfaction, not for the satisfaction of the couple of Saravanan. Only for my satisfaction, I am just mentioning the names. They have taken so much of pain. They have arranged this. After a long struggle, they have arranged these sessions. I think by God's grace, Lord Shiva's grace, it will be useful for some people who are willing to understand Saiva Siddhantam and willing to understand Thirumoolar Thirumanthiram. I think it will be useful, I hope. So once again, I thank them for arranging this series of lectures. Again, we will be meeting in the next Saturday session at noon. Okay, thank you. And let me conclude this session with the chant of Namah Shivaya Mandaram 5 times. Please, you can just again re-chant it as I am closing it. Because in your state, in your place itself, you can re-chant it following me. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Tiruchitrambalam. I am familiar with the terminology in Tamil for Saiva Siddhantam, but in English I have to search for words. There may not be exact translation of the Tamil words, but there should be at least nearby, they should be having nearby meaning. That's what I am trying to give you the words. At places, sometimes I am uttering the Tamil words themselves because I expect you to get accustomed to the Tamil words also, so that you will be able to appreciate in future. Thank you. Let Lord bless you. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. நமச்சிவாயம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.